This is DJ Semtex. Right now, you need to know your experience in HFM, right? You're either listening, you're either watching, being influenced by them. All I'm saying is it's one of the hottest stations in London. Pay attention, keep it locked. It's DJ Semtex.
Hey, I'm Shantae and you're back with another show of HFM. Today's a little bit different and a little bit more special. We're here with our very special guest who you may be used to asking the questions, DJ Semtex. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing? You all right?
Not bad. Thank you for, well, I'm going to say thank you for being here, but we're in your studio, we're in your office, so thank you for letting us be here today. We'll dive straight in. For anyone who doesn't recognise you, which may be very unlikely, can you just cover for us exactly what your position is in the music industry?
Yeah. My position in the music industry, I'm a fan. That's it. Like, I love music. There's artists that I love and respect. I'm fortunate to be able to work with. And being a fan of music, it led me to be a DJ. Came up through the ranks in Manchester, did my thing, and from there I wanted to work in the industry. I wanted to work in labels. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to work with artists that I liked and respected. And yeah, I've been really, really fortunate to be able to do something that I like doing, and that's it. But first and foremost, it all boils down to being a fan. Like, I could say that I'm head of this and senior title of that, and it all doesn't mean shit unless you're a fan of music. It's like, that's where it all starts.
So how did you first hear about HFM?
When I first moved to London, I moved down from Manchester, and HFM was something that people talked about a lot. When I'd come home from, working in the city, it's like we'd listen to it. Friday nights was good. And then artists were talking about it. I heard about HFM through events like, Mudlums from the Mud Fam, people like that. I heard about it through DJs like Penfold. I think it was like a weird situation because you had Kemet Records, who was putting out Kalashnikov, and you had HFM, and they're kind of both hand in hand. And it was like you couldn't escape it really if you was in London around that time. And there's a real air of excitement. There was other stations, they weren't showing the same amount of love at that time, so they were really covering a void and an area which needed it, which is pretty much responsible for what's happening today with some of the UK MCs, that are dominating the UK charts at the moment.
And what would you say the impact was from HFM on the UK hip-hop industry?
I think it gave them the support that they weren't getting anywhere else. I think, there's a lot of artists, anyone in UK hip-hop was getting supported, and I think that helped them get shows. It fueled the sub-industry. You got the music industry, then you got like the hip-hop industry, then you got the UK industry, and I think it was the backbone of that, while it was up and running, while it was on air. I think a lot of people ate of it. I think a lot of people should be paying itch tax. Just to pay dues to what it did for them back in the day. And yeah, I think it helped fuel that industry. It could have been very different. It could have been, the UK scene might not be as flourishing as it is today if it wasn't for Itch.
So it's got a very big role that it's played in the come up of UK hip-hop and whatnot. What would you say is the current state of UK hip-hop now, especially in comparison to maybe about 10 years ago?
It's massively changed. You've got an industry where you've got new managers, you've got new artists, you've got videographers, you've got producers, you've got engineers, you've got web designers, you've got artists. It's massively changed. People take it a lot more seriously. Major labels take it a lot more seriously, and it's always been like, it's always like independent versus majors, and majors were the evil guy. They're not evil anymore. I think majors can help you take your art to the next level, and as long as you work with people that see eye to eye, that are on the same wavelength, and I think it can take what you do worldwide. I think Tiny's proof of that, Dizzy Rascal's proof of that, I think Wretch is proof of that. And it's just, you know, it's not a bad thing now to say a UK rapper. It was a bit back in the day, you know, between 97, especially between 97 to 2003, it was cold. It's cold out there, man. If you were like UK rapper, like, yeah, alright, cool. Whereas now, you know, you got US artists that realize they got to work with UK artists. You could have a track like Tractor and dominated Europe, not just the UK, it went across Europe. You got artists, you know, you've got a scene coming out of North London, be it PL, Wretch, Chip, Sincere, you got North Star, you've got every corner of London's got their own pocket of artists, and across the UK there's artists that are doing their thing, you know, in Birmingham you got another pool of talent coming out there, same for Manchester, same for Nottingham. So I think now it's a very, very different landscape. I think it still stays the same though. You need good music. Like, without good music, none of it means anything. You know, as DJs, we thrive off good music. We need that hit to make us look good when we're in the club. We need that hit to make us sound exciting when we're on air, so people want to call up and hear it again, and then they want to hear you on the station talk. The other side to things now is you've got a massive online industry thanks to people like SBTV, Grime Daily, Link Up TV. There's a new one coming through every day. You've got artists and DJs that have got their own websites. My site is as important to me as my radio show. You know, the feedback that I get from there and the way that I can promote artists at any time of day is great. You know, you can give anybody a chance. If you like the music, support it. And I think now it's such a level playing field that it boils down, the onus is more on the artist now than ever before. Make sure you got good management, make sure you got a good legal team, read the book before you start trying to do this business, because it is a business and you got to educate yourself with the facts. I think, you know, a lot of mistakes have been made over the years, and I think the way things are now, the artists have power more than ever before.
And how is that going to have an impact on the future of the UK hip-hop scene? What do you see the future being?
I think the future is going to be more international artists. I think you're going to get a next wave of UK artists that are going to clock that to ring off in Japan I need to do this, to ring off in America I need to do this, to get that 50-day tour in America, this is going to be my approach. And I think they're more thinking bigger than ever before. I think there's a lot of exciting new producers coming through and they're starting early. I know kids who are like 12, 13 who are knocking out production that could rival most US producers. So if they're 12 and 13 knocking out banging beats, what are they going to be like in 5 years time, you know? And I think that's the problem we've always had with UK music. We never had that Dr. Dre, we never had that mentorship that got passed over for years. It's like, you know, you look at Dr. Dre, he came out, what, 1986, then he did NWA, then he did Snoop Dogg, then he did Tupac, then he mastered the career of Eminem, guided him, then he picked up 50 Cent, took the whole music industry somewhere else, and it's ongoing, and he's done the same thing with Kendrick Lamar. Now when you look at that, that's like a 30-year reign of giving guidance, giving direction, ensuring that hip-hop culture is done the right way. Some would argue that Dr. Dre is not that example, but he's greatest of all time as far as I'm concerned. So when you look at that mentorship, when you look at that hierarchy, and when you look at how that's been passed down from different generations, his skill, his knowledge, his care, perfecting the beat, we ain't never had that, because the best producers have either gone off into rave music, drum and bass, UKG, dubstep or whatever. There's never been that commitment to UK hip-hop in the same way. I think that's going to change. I think you got people like Show and Prove who can do that. I think you've got people like Labyrinth. I mean, what he did for Tiny Temper, he put him on the map. So he's very versatile and he can do different styles of music and everything else. But I think the fact that we've got people like that coming through, being successful, changing the sonic landscape, it's getting emotional now. I think it's only good for the game, and I think it's gonna get massively bigger. I think it's gonna get so big it's actually beyond comprehension. 5 years time from now, we'll meet up and be like, yo, that kid, no one saw that coming, you know, like, and that's it. It is beyond comprehension what can be achieved right now.
So, in terms of you, I know you said you're a music fan first and foremost. You don't want to boast about all your hats, but how did you get started and what is your main focus right now?
First of all, it's all down to my brother. He got me into hip hop, first of all. I came in one day from school. He was upstairs in his bedroom and 3 of his friends in the breakdancing, and I was like, what's this? Like, what's this newfangled thing that they're doing? Like, I saw these record covers for like Run DMC. The graphics were iconic. The sound was crazy. It was raw. It was abrasive. And more importantly, my parents didn't want to hear it, so that made it even more exciting. So he introduced me to like the essence of hip hop, and from there, I've just been hooked. Like, from being a fan of it, I was a super train spotter. I'd make notes of people that produce certain albums and stuff like that. There's a radio station in Manchester. There's a DJ then there called Stu Allen, who was like the equivalent to London's version of Westwood. I used to listen to him religiously, and the way that he did his radio show and the way that he talked about the music and everything, that's influenced me to do what I do on the radio today. It's like I was saying to someone the other day, I'm actually doing the same thing that I was doing years ago, which was back in the day I was trying to make my name for myself as a DJ, so no one would put me on. Local promoters were kind of like, yeah, whatever. So I changed my name, did mixtapes, got my name all around town, did the fly posting, putting stickers up, doing all the street promotion. I taught myself marketing. I put myself on, did my own club nights, and then I built my brand, and then I moved down to London. And it's kind of like, I'm still doing that now, but I'm doing it with other artists. I'm like helping artists break, I'm helping them come up with strategies on how to take their stuff to the next level. I work for a label, but I'll help anybody out who's doing something positive and who's got some kind of coherent approach to what they want to do musically. I'm not going to blow anyone up, but there's a lot of artists that people think I've got no affiliation to, but I've helped them behind the scenes and they got to a certain level, and for me it's just good to see them do that. I think I'm always going to be like that. I'm a sucker for giving out free advice, but for me the main thing is it's always about DJing. I think, there's a question that people ask is like, who's got more power, the blogger or the DJ? So what happens if you do both? Great. That's what I'm doing. And I'm not doing it to try and be on a power trip. I'm doing it because I love music. I'm doing it because I love working with this culture. I want to see it grow. I want to document it. I want to play my part in it. And I want to add to it. And crazy experience happened recently where I got the opportunity to DJ for Nas on his European tour. And that was just like, that was real. I grew up listening to this guy. I grew up on Live at the Barbecue. I bought the main Source album the day it came out, and then fast forward to however many years later, I'm on stage, ad-libbing with him on stage. Mad. And that's the beautiful thing about hip-hop, and I just want that to continue. So
that's a really nuts experience to have an email come through and say, yeah, can you cover some of my dates for me? You must have been going wild. So what other projects are you working on? Because you've got so much going on and you've got random emails coming through. Have you got anything else scheduled or lined up?
Yeah, I got a lot of things in the pipeline, and I could do that. I got some amazing shit coming out. Like, watch. I'd rather it just come out and people see it. It's like, whoa, I'm working with a lot of great artists, and I don't see it as, I've made them and this, that and the other. I think the artists that I work with are all incredibly talented in their own right, and I've been able to help out one way or the other, just help them get to the higher level. It's not really about taking credit for that. I think artists, you gotta give them a pat on the back for waking up every day and being 20 years in the making and doing this for so long. It's like all I do from a label perspective is give them a little bit of guidance, maybe try that, maybe try that, maybe try that. Everything I do is from a DJ's perspective. So it's like, I think as DJs, I think we should be more responsible to make sure we see the scene flourish. I think we should be more responsible in helping people make the bangers because we benefit out of it. And the more successful artists you have, the more successful you are as a DJ. So I think it's all hand in hand. I love what I do on the radio on One Extra. I don't see that as a job. I see it as just being able to play music that I like, mix it up, have artists that are exciting, having artists that you're going to hear about a year from now. I love doing that. me getting a big artist on that's going to tell you only what they want to tell you because they just want to give you the marketing plan and don't want to give anything else out. It's great. It's boring after a bit, but to get that next exciting artist, to get them on the show at the moment just before they break, it's priceless. You know, interviewing Drake the first time he comes to the UK in Hyde Park, no one knew who he was. We were just walking around and he's telling me about things he was up to the night before. It's like, you never get that again, because as soon as they become successful, they're totally different. I think same way with Tiny on the show before he came through, before he blew. I still got the emails from Tiny where it was like, please, can you support me? Please, can you help me get on the show? Whether it's him or Dummy that sent them emails, I don't know, but it definitely paid off because, you know, you could see that he genuinely cared. He was genuinely passionate about it. So it's just good to see like artists grow, come up, and then just blow up. It's the best thing in the world, man. It's great. It's
nice that you can be able to help them. You're a massive gatekeeper in the industry, so it's nice that they've got someone to try and communicate with. You heard him, he said that he's a sucker for free advice, so if you should be so lucky, try and get hold of him somehow. If not, keep it locked into Itch FM and check it out.